Hey you guys, Damien here. Just kind of wanted to, talk about a couple things. Given in light of Spirit Day, I just kind of wanted to talk about an experience I had Sunday. Um, so Sunday I went over to um, my girlfriend's house, well, not my girlfriend's house, but my girlfriend's grandfather's house. Just because her aunt and cousins wanted to meet me because they were in town, and I was gonna do a photo shoot with one of her cousins. And so, anyways, um, shortly after being there, probably about being there about an hour, um, my girlfriend's mom came to me and was like, you know that I love you, but my father doesn't want you here anymore. You know, your presence is making him uncomfortable. Um, and so basically, uh, he no longer wanted me in his home for being transgendered. Um, and you know, and then my girlfriend's mom was like, he's old school, he's a military man, this, that, and the other. And it just, it made me realize how much that even those of us who do, um, who do accept and who are open-minded and who are um, willing to love those that aren't necessarily according to the quote-unquote um, normal lifestyle, I guess. But so, anyways, it just reminded me, of people like us that too often, placate and downplay, people's bigotry because of the fact that we might share a genetic code, or because they're our friend, or because it's a grandparent or a parent or whatever, or even a partner. And it just made me realize that, um, a lot of the times I think the reason why people, grow in their hatred and their bigotry and their narrow-mindedness is for the simple fact that um, we excuse it, or we mollify their behavior. We don't call them out on the carpet. We don't sit there and tell them, hey, you're in the wrong for, you know, looking at somebody who might be gay or bisexual or transgender and judging them based off of how they choose to love other people. Um, and I think that, sometimes we're just as guilty. It makes me wonder, um, who's more guilty, the the individual who is hateful and spreads their um, disdain for other people due to their egocentrism? Or is it the person who idly sits by and watches, even though they know it's wrong, and say nothing and do nothing? How many times do we allow violence in our lives? And, so many times we don't even realize what is violent, I mean, gossiping, that's violence. Name calling, violence. Um, Racially profiling, it can be a form of violence. You know, simply, spreading your hatred or even frustration towards others is a form of violence. And too many times we see our friends and they they'll make a racial comment, or we'll see, our friends go, oh, that's gay, or this, that, and the other. And I mean, I know that for a lot of people, that's just the way we talk, and it's not meant in a negative way, but so many times it is said in a negative connotation, and when a negative connotation is standardized to be linked to a normal lifestyle for some other individual is violence, regardless of you know what we think is acceptable. Black people calling each other nigga or nigger or whatever, and gay people calling each other faggot and dyke, and um, white people calling each other cracker or honky or redneck or trailer trash or whatever it is. I mean, yeah, I mean, sometimes these things are said in a joking manner, and sometimes these things are humorous, and I know that on the flip side of things, sometimes people choose to take these words and, um, I guess, you know, try to take the negative connotation by accepting the word as a term of reference for them or somebody they know, and I think that only makes the situation even further confusing. How can we sit here and cry for acceptance and cry for equal rights, but yet turn around and slander ourselves publicly? We sit here and we are talking about you know um, awareness for bullies, but how many times have I gone to drag shows and the drag queens are verbally abusing the straight people in the crowd, or just like people will go to gay pride and hold God hates fags and things of that nature. And how many times are we sitting there screaming hateful things on the other side of the police barricade? I mean, I guess I'm confused because I don't understand how any of us think that there will be peace or equality when or that we'll ever see eye to eye on anything if we both fly off the handle in blinded hatred. you know um and so I don't know, it just got me to thinking. I'm actually going to be part of a youth interfaith youth peace committee. Well, I'm part of the committee, but we're actually having a meeting um, this Sunday, and it's just was am very excited just to see the outcome, just to see many different walks of faith, Christians, Jews, Buddhists, you know, all coming together for peace and world peace, and to find a common ground to absolve violence. And I'm just so excited to see this meeting and be given the honor to photograph this meeting and record it in history. And like, I think it's very important, regardless of faith, regardless of gender or race or sexual identity, we need to come together and end this hatred, end this acceptance of violence, and take responsibility. Take responsibility for our hatred and violence that we spread ourselves, and take responsibility to at least say, hey, I love you. I do. But what you just said isn't okay. What you just did isn't okay. And I tell you this because I love you. That you need to see that this is a form of violence. I mean, given in light of the fact that in a month and a half we're wearing purple today, because in a month and a half, 8 teenagers and young adults have killed themselves because of bullying. But before we can cry wolf or cry victim, where are we bullying? Where are we being violent in our own lives? I think that Spirit Day was a great thing, and I think it's a huge awareness. And I just guess I hope that we take this to the next level, to find the awareness in our own lives, and to see where it is that we need to grow and change, and to end the violence and the hatred that we spread. Peace be with you and good luck.